You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Brian White. I'm one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother, Dave. Hey, Dave, how you doing over there?
Thank you for asking. Pretty good. I went to the cinema earlier this week. I went to see Jaws.
Yeah?
Movie about a giant shark. You may have heard of it.
I've heard of it.
It's sweeping all the box offices these days. It was a 35 millimeter presentation, and there were a bunch of people. So this is a Coolidge Corner, and it was pretty, I don't know, maybe sold out, but it was pretty well attended. And they asked how many people it was the first time they were seeing the movie, and a fuckload of people raised their hand, which I think that's great. It's a fantastic movie. But it was another one of those experiences where people reacted exactly the way they're supposed to at certain points. So, like, when Ben Gardner's head falls out of the boat, everybody fucking jumps. That one still gets me every time. And it is nice to see people enjoy a film together still, and very little bad behavior.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. It's a movie that just inspires, like, it brings out the best in people,
Yeah, there's not much to laugh at in it. I mean, there are moments of levity, but there's not much to laugh at in the movie, so it's not like it's a campy thing you can all make jokes about.
Except, what?
Yeah, well, that is the part you have to laugh at that. It's you have a moral obligation. It was a lovely experience.
That's great. I'm very glad to hear that. It was like I saw Evil Dead 2 at the Brattle like a million years ago. And it was the same sort of thing where, like, I mean, it's Evil Dead 2. Everybody's fucking seen it, but the place was like everybody kind of reacted in the way. It was like watching a Rocky Horror sort of thing where, like, everything was moving in clockwork. Yeah. All of the reactions were timed perfectly. When he said groovy, the place went insane. Like, people standing on their seats and, like, popcorn flying through the air, and, like,
good Lord.
It was magnificent. I really miss the sort of that sort of in theater experience, just because there are not a whole lot of theaters that do that kind of thing around me, at least.
Oh, it's like half of what happens around here now. It's just revival theaters, which I think is fantastic.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like what I always wanted.
Well,
but you just can't make that shit happen in the New Hampshire seacoast.
No, you cannot. That's because they would be very poorly attended.
Yeah, it was like when we went to the Ioka Theater, when we met with the then current owner, who was like, "You guys are crazy. You're never going to make money doing this." And I was like, Maybe that's where we part ways on this, because I'm not really looking to make money. I'm just trying to create a cool experience.
You gotta break even at least.
Breaking even would be ideal, but, like, yeah, just I don't know. But also, that dude's spirit was utterly broken. Buying that movie theater was not what he expected it to be.
He bought a 100-year-old movie theater in 2004, so wasn't a great decision.
Oh boy, yeah, mistakes were made. Yeah. So we practically grew up in neighborhood video stores, and the steady diet of utter garbage that those shops provided us with continues unabated to this day. And there's no one else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Just before we get into it, here's a little housekeeping. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod. Dave's over there at That Werewolf. And give us a follow. We're heading into those autumn months, and things are going to get real fun. Because we mostly just kind of use the platform to just kind of, like, promote the show, but we've got good stuff coming up.
I do. I have suggestions for people.
You do it every year. You kill it every year.
These are good ones, though. These are not what you'd expect.
That's cool. Because, like, last year I was like, ooh, we're repeating ourselves a little bit, but, like, options are a little limited, I suppose.
Well, it's like when you get to Christmas and everyone's like, these are the great Christmas horror movies. And I'm like, well, there's two of them.
Guys, there's like 7 Christmas horror movies. So,
and even like those, they're pretty questionable. So I was like, I'm not doing any of that shit this year.
That's cool. Yeah. So follow up. It'll enhance your life.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go into October being like, I want to watch a lot of horror movies, but what do I watch? I have so many options. Let us help you with that. Yeah. And if you don't know, we have another show called 99 Cent Rental, where we cover all manner of video store madness on the weeks of Bring Me the Axes Off. Our latest episode, covering the baffling but charming 80s alien ghost car movie, The Wraith, is out now. It's a fun episode.
Alien ghost cars.
alien ghost cars, magic ghost aliens.
Or maybe not. Maybe none of those things. Who's to say, really? It's 6 in one, half dozen in another, you know?
Yep.
Neither here nor there.
No, that's out now. We'll be back next week with a look at the panic-stricken evangelical anti-communist scare film, If Footmen Tire You, What Will Horses Do?
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's so good. It's gonna be a time.
You will stand up and cheer, just as I did.
Yeah. You can also contact us directly at bringmetheaxepod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a movie that you love. We'd like to hear us give it the business. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there at patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. Subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod. Do you think I'm spooky? We've finished the first season.
We finally crossed over.
We fucking made it. We made it. And I keep like breathing like a heavy sigh of relief, but I just know we're going to fire up this next season and just be like, Jesus Christ, was this one a dog too?
And we're going to get halfway through and be like, wait, did this show suck?
Yeah, it's like the X-Files didn't really become the X-Files until like season 4, I want to say. So I guess we'll see. That is the point of doing this new show, I suppose. Yep. And there's also our Millennium Edition, Bring Me the X Millennium Edition. That's just a bonus episode in which we explore a modern horror movie. Our latest episode looks at Rob Eggers' Nosferatu. Dovetails neatly with our look at Werner Herzog's Nosferatu the Vampire. Did we like it?
You can guess whether.
You're going to have to listen to find out.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's also my bi-weekly DJ show, Radio Free Haddonfield, in the weeks when Do You Think I'm Spooky is off. You can expect a surprising mixtape of everything from rock to disco to punk over there. And all Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels, voice and video chat, and the watch parties option. Pop in on Friday night, watch horror movies with us. We watched Killer Klowns from Outer Space the other night. It was lightly attended, but you know, it's Friday. Why? It's Friday night. What can you do?
That's true.
You know,
everyone's got to go out and party.
Yeah, I looking at our show demographics. I don't know how much partying our listeners are doing on a Friday night.
No, just sleeping mostly.
Mostly. Maybe the movie's just on too late for them.
Just settling in with a hot chocolate.
Yep. Little needlepoint.
I get it. I watch Murder, She Wrote. I know how it goes.
Yeah. Once again, that's patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. And also, hey, there's merch.
Oh, yeah.
We never mention it. I always fail to mention this and bring it up. We got merch. We got hoodies. We got T-shirts. You get like Dave has worked his butt off making sweet designs. You got our Is It a Wig shirt?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. We've got the Canon film one.
Yeah.
You know, it's all over there. Check the show notes for the link to get yourself a nice T-shirt. Get yourself a nice hoodie. Gift it to your friends and family. They'll love it.
The holidays are, well, they're coming up anyway. I don't know if they're upon us exactly.
No, but it's spooky season. May as well be a holiday. Yeah. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube now. Search us by name and subscribe there if you prefer to consume your podcast that way. And you'd be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. So hop to it, guys.
Hurry up.
It's nice. It's nice when the number goes up, you know?
It is. It is.
Yep. And if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor. Give the episode a like and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Just want to get all that out of the way right at the top of the show because tonight's episode is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Here's the trailer. Everybody's so excited about this one, too. I'm glad that we finally got around to it.
Because it's a great movie.
It's a fucking fantastic movie is what it is. Here we go.
It was a night like any other night. Then something happened.
You see that?
Something different.
It's no shooting star.
Why here? Why now? Why clowns? They've been knocking them dead all over the universe.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Soon they'll be doing it at a theater near you.
Killer clowns from outer space.
Pizza?
Maybe they're just cruising through the galaxy and stopped here for a bite to eat.
You don't need a police pal, you need a psychiatrist. They want to play games? They're messing with the wrong guy.
What are you in for?
Killer clowns from outer space. It's crazy.
Wow, they really just give you the whole movie there, don't they?
They really do. They just wanted to leave nothing to the imagination.
God.
Yeah, it was the 80s though. There wasn't much of an art form to the production of movie trailers. So it's just like heave upon them all of the best parts of the movie so that they'll come and sit through all of the not best parts.
And I mean, to be fair to the trailer people, this movie is basically just a bunch of really awesome set pieces kind of situated within the plot from the Blob. So
Yeah.
almost exactly the plot from the Blob.
Yep. Do you remember the first time you ever saw this one?
Yes, this was on TV a lot.
This was on TV so fucking much. When I remember seeing it on maybe USA, like when they were doing Up All Night.
Yes, because that was where it got licensed to initially.
Yeah, and so that was probably one of the first places I saw it, or maybe we rented it. I can't remember. I can't really recall, but for a really long time, I avoided it because I thought the movie was incredibly stupid.
Well, you were wrong.
I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Because when I started like hanging out with that crew of guys in Dover, they had a weird habit of just stealing videotapes from video stores. And this was one of them. And we watched this movie a lot while on lots of drugs.
I like it. It's like a weird habit. It's really just shoplifting.
But I've never known anybody else who did this, like go into a video store and just like, we rented it so much that they were like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to take this movie.
Well, that's when they had to stop putting them on the shelves. You had to just get the box.
Yeah. Cause we had that one. We had Student Bodies was the other one that we watched a billion times.
That is a bad movie.
And there was one other, the other one was Robot Jocks.
Oh, so another stellar film.
Did I mention that we were on drugs?
It makes sense.
Yeah. But I did eventually come around to this one.
Well, it's a fucking delightful movie. It is. I found myself, as I was watching it, just kind of grinning the whole time because of how whimsical it is.
There's, that's all I can really say about it is like why it's so good is they loved what they were doing. They were really good at what they were doing. And you could tell that they were just having a lot of fun with it. The amount of the kind of the imagination that went into this movie is crazy. Because a lot of it is they're just taking shit that happens in Looney Tunes cartoons, but making a bunch of guys in rubber clown masks do it.
Yeah, it's extremely colorful. It's super fun. It's kind of like, you know how I am a Rob Zombie apologist?
Yeah.
Hate his movies. I think he's not a good director. Well, I think he's a fine director. He's an adequate director. I think his movies are not good.
He's not a good storyteller.
No, he's definitely not a good writer. But the amount of passion that he puts into his movies is the sole reason why I'll always be like, you know what? I got to give him some credit. He makes movies for people who really love this shit, and he really loves this shit. And that's what this movie is, except I think this movie actually is pretty good. The dialogue's not good, but the movie is fantastic, or at least it's super fun. And part of that is because of how passionate they are about what they're making. You can tell they genuinely love these sort of early, or like mid to late 50s and early 60s sci-fi movies. Like the shit you would watch on TV as a kid. Like all
it was all the stuff that like I discovered on Creature Double Feature.
Yeah. And they love it so much that like you can feel it in the movie. And that's why the movie is so much fun, because it never takes itself seriously. There are a couple moments that I find genuinely creepy, but for the most part, it's just a really goofy film.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like a movie that's just comfortable with being stupid.
When you know what you are and you're just fine with it.
So here let's dive in.
Okay.
The year was 1988.
Yes.
Year of our Lord. I have very little memory of the year 1988. I feel like it was a weird sort of cultural lull.
The late 80s in general are a bit of a wasteland.
Right. And this movie coming out as it was in 1988 was coming out on the heels of a particularly popular horror movie from 1987. Can you pause it? Can you guess this?
1987.
1987. Here, let me run down some other movies that were released in 1988. And then
No, I know what it is. Wait, no, I don't. No, I don't know what it is.
Okay, let me read them off to you, and then you can make a guess. Okay, other movies released in 1988. Bad Dreams came out in 1988.
Terrible film. Absolute garbage.
I just watched it the other night, and I put it right onto our list for next year.
It is trash.
It is really shitty. Also, Deadly Dreams came out in 1988.
Also not a good movie.
I don't think I've ever actually seen that one. I also have not seen this one. Dream Demon came out in 1988.
I think I have seen Dream Demon.
Okay. But you picking up what I'm putting down here. Also in 1988, The Howling 4 came out.
Is that that's the kangaroo one?
No, that's part 3, I think.
Damn.
Howling 4 is the original Nightmare.
Okay.
Okay.
So 87 is Nightmare on Elm Street. It's Dream Warriors.
Yeah. And so in 1988, everybody was just slapping Dream on or hastily applying some sort of Dream quality to their movies because everybody wanted to sort of get that Nightmare on Elm Street movie money. And also in 88, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master came out.
Because like all of the slasher thing was kind of dead by the end of the 80s. That's why there's such a lull in horror at the end of the 80s anyway.
Yeah,
there's a lot of weird garbage.
Slashers have been sort of reduced to the two sort of warring franchises, Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, which is wildly inconsistent at this point. But
I mean, you also get the 4 and 5 Halloween movies.
Yeah, Halloween. I think Halloween 4 came out this year, maybe.
Halloween
maybe
4, I think it's 87, and then
Okay.
88, I think is 5.
Okay, and then Child's Play comes out around this time. So
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, so they're not necessarily dead, but it's kind of running out of ideas.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with it, and like this is also when Friday the 13th starts to get real goofy as well.
Yeah, I think this is the year that part 7 came out.
It's either that or this might be 8.
Yeah.
And I love that one. I think it's fantastic.
Yep. So a lot of dream themed horror movies coming out in 1988 off the back of the success of Dream Warriors.
Not this one though.
Nope. This movie's release was pretty much sabotaged by the company.
Yeah, a disastrous roll up from a company that sounds like they had no fucking clue what they were doing.
Here, I've got a huge note about them because to me, the way that they released this movie and the place that the movie sort of ends up in the modern age is such a strange journey. So we'll put a little pin in that until we get there. Our director is a guy named Stephen Chiodo. And his brothers, Charles and Edward.
Yep.
God love them. These guys are not known for film direction. This is
Which is weird. I mean, I guess maybe not weird, because I don't know that this movie is very well directed. I think it just overwhelms you with charm.
Yeah, that's really it.
And you're just like, this movie could be made on a fucking handy cam, and I'd be like, this is adorable. I love it.
I know. The thing is these guys knew how to obviously knew how to produce special effects, like the rubber stuff, and they knew how to shoot it, but they didn't know how to sort of like tie it all up in a way. Like I couldn't imagine them, because if they did this again, I have a feeling that they would just be like, okay, well, let's do, instead of science fiction movies that we liked when we were kids, let's do horror movies that we liked when we were kids. It'd probably be the same. It would feel the same, but it probably wouldn't have the same kind of charm to it.
Well, guess what? They're gonna do it again.
Are they?
We'll see. They've been
Okay.
talking about it for quite a long time, but
Yeah. Their trade is special effects, and their resume is fucking nuts. They created the Critter puppets for the Critters movies. They did the claymation on Large Marge's Freakout in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. They did all the puppetry in Team America World Police, the stop motion puppetry in Elf, and a bunch of puppeteer credits on The Simpsons. And also all the animated sequences from Elvira's movie Macabre. They did.
yeah, they've got a ton of animation credits, which is weird because those are not the same thing. Like stop motion and
No.
special effects.
Entirely different arts.
Yeah, very, very different.
Yep. They did episodes early. Their earliest break in the sort of industry was through fairy tale theater for HBO. They did the 6000 SUX commercial from RoboCop, all the claymation and puppetry bits from the Weird Al movie UHF, and the water skiing cat puppet from Ruben and Ed.
Oh, my cat can eat a whole watermelon.
A whole watermelon.
Okay.
Yep. Hop on back. Let's do our Beaver Trilogy episode. They are also just some of my favorite special effects guys in the history of Hollywood. I fucking love them.
They seem to, they're not only really good at it, they seem again to really love it. There's so much creativity in what they're doing. I think that's probably why they can, jump from one medium to another. I just think it's weird that like they made this movie, and again, this was a disastrous premiere for a movie. Then it had no support, and it basically just kind of went nowhere until video and then TV picked it up. But they also, I mean, it sounds like the company like almost actively sabotaged them. But I do wonder.
And I did the research. There was a plan there, but apparently Transworld Entertainment kind of forgot to tell the Chiodo Brothers what they were doing.
And you got to wonder though, like, is that what prevented them from directing anything else, or are they just not very good at it? I mean, it's really Stephen Chiodo who actually directs the movie, but like, are they not? Because that was what they wanted to do. They wanted to be film directors. But they grew up on the East Coast, and it sounds like they hadn't thought like, well, if we want to do that, we have to go to Los Angeles, which is kind of what you have to do. And so they tried to kind of make it work on the East Coast, and it just didn't. And so they were like, all right, fuck it. And then by then they were already kind of in an industry.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why they don't sort of have the same kind of reputation among the fandom that like maybe like Tom Savini or Greg Nicotero have, where like people know them by name. Like I never ever hear about people talking about the Chiodo Brothers, in spite of the fact that they are extremely talented and really prolific.
I think maybe because also what Greg Nicotero and Tom Savini did, they kind of revolutionized horror films in a way by making them impressively gory, whereas the Chiodos are trying explicitly to not do that. Okay. They don't want violence, and so it just doesn't fit the fandom very well.
Yeah, okay, maybe I can see that.
I mean, I think it's amazing. This movie had $80,000 for special effects.
I have such a hard time believing that.
I mean, I watched it in 4K, and I don't have a hard time believing that. But it is nonetheless impressive.
There are so many special effects shots in this movie. There are so many costumes and props and
they
sets.
made them all like by hand, by themselves, with a couple exceptions.
That's so crazy.
So I guess when you know how to do all of that, you can sort of budget.
Okay.
It's still really like $80,000 is fucking nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on a budget of like $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
My God. Our cast is headed up by Grant Kramer, first seen on this podcast back in our episode about New Year's Evil as Diane Kelly's deranged weirdo son.
That's right.
Following that,
who may or may not be a homosexual.
Following that, he does a lot of TV, most notably showing up in nearly 50 episodes of the soap The Young and the Restless as two separate characters, which is such a baller move.
I mean, it probably happened a lot.
I love that. I have seen that with some of the other like cast members of movies that we've done in the past, because like there's so much crossover between horror, particularly in the early 80s, because it was all produced on the East Coast, and soaps that were produced in New York. And so like there'll be an actress who shows up with like she does like 300 episodes of one soap opera, but is credited as 3 characters. And it's like, did they think their audience wouldn't notice, or did they just not give a shit?
They didn't give a shit. The thing was, those shows were all shot every day.
Yeah.
And so if you had a character, like a long character, because if, again, I'll talk about Dark Shadows. It's the only one I really know a lot about. If one of your characters, who is a main character on the show, can't do it that day for whatever reason, they have appendicitis, whatever reason they can't make it to the fucking show, they still have to shoot the show.
Yeah, so they go out and they get Joan Crawford instead of her daughter.
Yes, someone else has to do it. And so there are like, it doesn't happen that often, but sometimes it would just be like, here's another person playing this
like
character.
One episode of the show where they refer to this entirely other actor as the character you've known for like 300 episodes.
Correct.
And you're like, wait a second, what?
Yeah, because they didn't give a shit. Like they were moving so fast, and those shows, they spent like $10,000 an episode.
That's
so like, you don't have a lot of time, and you don't have any fucking money, so just grab someone else.
Yeah. Nowadays, he does a lot of producing with his name on movies like the legally distinct from Five Nights at Freddy's movie Willy's Wonderland, and he seems to be leading the charge towards the long-delayed Killer Klowns sequel.
Is he also in the Blob, the remake?
I think he has a credit for the Blob.
I think he's in the beginning.
Yeah. We've got Suzanne Snyder, who was last seen on this podcast being scared witless by her space slug zombie boyfriend in Night of the Creeps. Yep. I was pretty surprised by how many movies I've seen with her in it.
Yeah, she seems like she kind of fell into that trap of like, here you are, you're now in a bunch of crappy horror movies.
She's in this. She's in Night of the Creeps. She's in Weird Science. She's in Return of the Living Dead Part 2, regrettably.
Yeah.
And the utterly feral supernatural revenge movie Retribution. Have you seen Retribution?
I don't think so.
We're going to have to get around to that one eventually, because that movie it's a movie.
Okay. Well, you're selling it. You're selling it very hard.
There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in that movie. Yeah. Like a lot of folks who show up here, she did a ton of TV until the 90s when she seems to retire from acting.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. And then rounding it out, we got John Vernon.
Yep.
Most accomplished actor in the pack, delivering a positively unhinged performance.
I would argue Royal Dano is probably the most accomplished. Prestigious actor, esteemed character actor Royal Dano is also in this film very briefly.
The thing. This John Vernon has some crazy fucking credits. He's Dean Wormer in Animal House. He was Fletcher in The Outlaw Josie Wales and the Mayor of San Francisco in Dirty Harry. He's also in Curtains. He's in Chained Heat and Savage Streets.
Yeah, he's in. If people do not know who he is, you'd recognize him immediately.
You would recognize his voice first and foremost, and he's got a look that you will probably mistake him for about a dozen other guys who look.
Yeah, it looks like him. Everybody's dad in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking any rules. He's like,
but not like TV dads. He looks like everyone's actual dad, like very tired. You know, with the rundown.
Yeah. Just wants to go down and smoke a cigar in his wood paneled basement.
And the character he plays in this movie is lifted entirely beat for beat from the Blob, from the original.
Yeah, that's the thing is these guys are like, yeah, we just wanted to like make a little tribute to all of our favorite like sci-fi alien invasion movies. And it's like, guys, you remade one movie. Yeah,
it's like it's 77% the Blob and then like 22% Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then like you sprinkle in a little of here and there a smattering of other stuff.
Yeah, there's like some Forbidden Planet stuff in here. There's some Invaders from Mars. His character is basically like every cop character from every one of these movies that they're sort of using as touchstones.
Have you ever seen the original Blob?
Yes, I have.
That is the character in the Blob. There's a cop.
I don't remember him being so much like I'm going to go out there and just shoot everybody.
Well, he's not. They probably couldn't take it that far because it's like 1958 or whatever.
Yeah.
But the character is just like, I went to Korea and these kids are all doing this to me. It is exactly that character where he's just like, this is a prank. These kids are all terrible. He's the square. He's the the loser young cop. And that's who this character is. And it's so weird because
this character is insane.
It is completely unhinged.
He's constantly muttering, I'm just gonna shoot them all. These kids, they come out here to go to college and they think they're so smart and they're all laughing at me. I'm gonna make them pay.
One of these days, I'd like to kill one of them. Kids, they shit on you.
They shit on everything you believe in. Oh man, just he's like my favorite character in the whole movie, precisely because of how psychotic he is. Huh. So we got a couple of taglines here. I don't know.
There's really only one good one.
It's crazy.
I was wondering how you were going to do that.
I should have done it in my serious movie guy voice. Here, I'll do it that way. It's crazy.
Yeah, because that's crazy with 2 A's, by the way.
It's 3 A's.
Oh.
And then there's one more. It's the most awkward shit in the world. Here we go. In space, no one can eat ice cream.
That's perfect. I love it.
Bullshit. There's astronaut ice cream, motherfucker.
It's so fucking dumb.
It's the dumbest shit. I kept trying, I had to rehearse it a bunch of times because I kept saying it like no one can hear you scream.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't, the cadence isn't the same.
Doesn't work the same. The rhythm's all different. Yeah. So this movie came to life when Stephen Chiodo thought of the scariest thing he could come up with. And this idea was that of driving down a lonely mountain road in the middle of the night, being passed by a car, which was being driven by a clown.
I don't think, to me, that's not the scariest thing I could come up with.
No, I can think of much scarier things.
I bet being set on fire is worse. Yeah, I mean, there's just tons of things. You get the impression very early on that these guys are huge fucking dorks.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
especially because like several characters in the movie are based on people that they grew up with. And like one of the remarks about them is like, oh man, hanging out with these guys is the best. You never know what kind of adventure they're going to take you on. And like in the movie, they're just like two guys whose idea was we're going to get girls by renting an ice cream truck. It's like,
they are classic nerds, but like in a way that it's hard to put your finger on what it is about them. But it's like, I think they're more losers than nerds. Like, it's just like, it's not like, they're not giving you incel vibes. They're giving you like trying way too hard, but just can't read a fucking room to save their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about these. We'll talk about these inspirations a little ways down the road here. But they then extrapolated the idea from there. What if the car was invisible and the clown was just floating there?
Well,
and then
this is getting less scary.
What if the clown was an alien from another planet, guys?
Okay, now here's where they really get me. The thing I love most about this movie is that these are not actually clowns. They're just aliens who happen to look like clowns.
Yeah.
And I think that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And there's a whole argument. I kept finding this I believe it's also in the IMDb trivia for it, where there are people arguing over are they aliens who disguised themselves as clowns, or are they aliens that look like clowns with spaceships that look like big top tents?
It's that. It's the second one. They're just aliens who look like clowns. They just happen to look like what we call
by pedantic internet people from the IMDb trivia section.
Oh, geez, that's never happened to me before.
Yeah. The fear of clowns is called coulrophobia, and I am dying to understand this phobia because I do not get it at all.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's a bit performative.
I don't know. There was when I was in school, I had this poster that was this little promotional item for this short film called Bingo the Clown. That, obviously it had a lot of clowns on the poster, and my roommate's girlfriend came through and she was walking down the hall and she saw it and like threw herself against the wall and like had like a fucking anxiety attack at the sight of them. So like, I don't know, man.
Look, I mean, I understand like clowns, they hide their faces essentially. And there's something a little bit weird about that. But that's about it. Like I, if anything, I find the sort of original clown, the kind of the Italian, what the fuck is the name of that clown?
I don't know.
I don't know. The ones that paint their faces all white and wear like little tiny hats. I find those pretty unnerving looking.
Okay.
But otherwise, I like the idea that like these goofy clowns, well, not these ones, they're supposed to be scary looking. Well, I don't know if it's scary, but like actual, circus clowns, party clowns, they're not that frightening looking. But originally there was a kind of menace to them That was part of their whole thing.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you're never really supposed to know what they are. They're constantly changing their kind of expressions and emotions. And so that I get, but that's not really what we're talking about. That's a historical representation. John Wayne Gacy's a different story. And I think a lot of it is people that are like, well, I saw it when I was a kid. And it's like, yeah, so did I. I still don't think they're scary.
Yeah, right. Like I can't, like
I mean, John Wayne Gacy was scary because he killed teenage boys, not because he dressed like a clown.
He was a murderer who just happened to have a clown game on the side.
Yeah. So I don't know. I always find it a little bit like a little tired.
Yeah, like I saw some stuff where they were like early experiences with clowns in childhood, and I was like, I don't know. Mom and Dad took me to the circus when I was like 3.
Yeah,
and I was fine. So I don't know. But then again, like subjective experience is not.
Yeah. There you go.
Is not a good measure, but
I do find it a little obnoxious how it's always fucking played to the hilt, like they're the most terrifying things in the world. They're not.
No, over at Haunted Overload, like one of the biggest and most popular set pieces is the Big Top, and like we have so many fucking clowns in the cast that, like, I mean, at least it's popular. At least people like them, but like I don't fucking get it at all, man. I think it's really kind of tired and sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
yeah.
In 2006, Sarasota, Florida, there was an exhibit called Clownin' Around Town, in which numerous fiberglass clowns were installed around the town as part of its history of circus performers wintering there. Dozens of them were destroyed and utterly defaced by unknown persons.
Well, that seems rude.
It's a little strong, the reaction.
Yeah, I don't have to do that.
No. In 1981, Boston, Massachusetts was seized by a public panic which claimed that vans packed with dudes dressed as clowns were driving around the city, stopping children.
I would like to tell you there's more to that story. Unfortunately, there isn't.
That is literally it.
But I do think it's kind of interesting.
The Phantom Clown story is one of my favorite sort of like weird Americana tales because there's nothing else about it. There is probably something to the like initial reports, but it was sort of like in 2016 when like it started happening again, but it was fueled entirely by the internet.
Yeah.
And like,
when was John Wayne Gacy arrested? Not until the 80s, right?
Oh shit. I don't know. Now I got to look that shit up.
I love Moral Panic. I love a mass psychogenic illness incidents. I think they're fascinating.
He was arrested in 1978.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit is interesting as hell. But yeah, fucking clowns, you guys, relax.
Mm-hmm.
Relax. I'm ambivalent at best. I'm just dying to understand this phenomenon.
Yeah.
So the movie was budgeted at around $2 million. Its box office return was less than $100,000.
It was $80,000.
Ugh. Now, the movie made its money back like a lot.
Yeah.
When it was like shuffled off to cable and videotape. But like this company, Transworld Entertainment, did not tell the Chiodos that was the plan.
Right.
So yeah, the company, the distributor, TWE, appeared to be putting their emphasis on cable and VHS releases, and Killer Klowns was slated for release through Charles Band's Media Home Entertainment label. The Chiodos were extremely disappointed that Transworld released their movie to the absolute minimum amount of theaters that they were required to. They would just sort of like open it for a few days in like one city, and then they would ship the reels off to like another one for a few days.
And like weird cities too. It would be like Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
But not Los Angeles.
No, it was mostly just like to just sort of like fulfill the requirement of like this would be a theatrically released movie. And I guess there's like a sort of a business standard for what that means. And so they just like obscured the release as best they could.
Which is weird. Like I get if you want, I mean, this is around the time when cable's sort of coming up and video, like home video is really taking off. So I get if that's your plan, fine. You know, it's, I don't think it's a good one, but also to be like, you're going to have to release this in theaters. Why would you blow it there too? Like just, you know, fine. If you only want to release it in fucking 70 theaters or whatever, do that. But like, at least put it places where people are going to see it. Do you not want to make money on that part too?
I don't. Do you hate money? One of the
Actually, it sort of seems like they did.
I know,
they went out of business.
One of the things that I did sort of find out about this was that it was released as part of a deal that was brokered by the CEO of Transworld, who then, before the movie went into production, split the company and just like left and went to work somewhere else. And the project kind of got dumped on some other producer's desk, and they were just like, what the fuck is this? This is stupid. Nobody's ever going to want to watch this movie. And as we'll find out, like, Transworld could not possibly have been any more wrong about this. Like, because they also, after the movie was released and it started to sort of find its legs at the home video market, like, there was a producer who came to town who was like, we should make an animated series out of this. And Transworld was like, fuck that shit. Fuck that movie and fuck you. Get out of here.
Yeah, like they're literally offering you money. You don't, if it's a licensing deal, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. No faith in this movie, which makes a lot of sense when you consider that these were the other movies that Transworld was releasing at the time. Pray for Death, a movie that I like quite a bit, actually, which is a Sho Kosugi Death Wish plus Ninjas movie. They also released Thunder. The Mark Gregory is a Native American in a seriously racist First Blood ripoff.
Yikes.
They also released Hobgoblins, which was one of the millions of Gremlins ripoffs where the puppeteers just jiggle crappy monster puppets in front of the camera.
It's really bad.
It's fucking terrible. The Mystery Science Theater episode of it makes it barely watchable. They also released Bloody Moon, which was Jess Franco's unspeakably weird misunderstanding of Halloween. And
I kind of enjoy that movie.
I like that movie quite a bit too because it is profoundly fucking strange. And lastly, if you just want to, I just want to put a fine point on it. They released Troll 2. They actually produced Troll 2.
And then they went out of business in 1993.
In 1993,
they were real bad. They were bad at what they were doing.
Yeah, they sucked. They had no business. They were a company that was just making movies as a business. And so they had no way to sort of understand film as a sort of product to be enjoyed, or
it's like that's what happened. That's what happened in Hollywood, basically throughout the 80s and then into the 90s.
Oh yeah, it was just snatched up by
corporate interests. They just took over, and it ended up being like fucking garbage.
Yeah. So MGM picked up MHE's library in 1993 when the company collapsed, because also Charles Band's company media also collapsed then. And the real cult legacy of Killer Klowns begins at that time, which leads to a DVD release with a proper commentary track and a behind-the-scenes featurette, also a modest merchandising line. And it ends with one of Spirit Halloween's most popular product lines, a video game, and Universal Studios' surprise that more people were turning up for the Killer Klowns attractions than the Stranger Things attractions at Halloween Horror Nights.
That's because Stranger Things is stupid.
I'm gonna have to stop you there, sir.
I feel like they maybe have wrung the product line a little bit dry at this point. And I say that as somebody who has pretty much all of it.
It was a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I think, when Spirit rolled out all of their Killer Clown stuff, and it was super impressive shit. Like, those awesome, you get like animatronics of like basically all of the like hero clowns in the movie. You could get the little cotton candy ray gun. You could get the popcorn
got 2 of
gun.
Them.
Really?
Don't have that one. Well, I have 2 of the ray guns. The popcorn gun, I might buy that one this year.
I need to get I've always wanted to get the ray gun, but I just couldn't. I couldn't break for it at the time. It's all reasonably priced, except for the animatronics, which are like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of the popcorn gun, the popcorn rifle, which is in the movie for all of a few seconds, was the most expensive prop that they made, costing between $6,000 or $7,000 depending on the article that you read. Mostly because it was all like self-contained.
Yeah, well, it also has a what's that called? It has like not an engine, like a compressor in it that actually fires popcorn. And so in order to do that, they had to essentially build a working air gun, like a t-shirt gun.
Yeah. And stick it into that little toy. I would imagine that they had plans to use that thing like way more than they did.
Because it barely shows up in the movie.
No. You get one really great shot of it, but then that's the last time you see it. Yep. And then, this movie was shot around Santa Cruz in some of the same locations that are featured in The Lost Boys.
Yeah, it was shot in, what the fuck is the name of that? Watsonville. Is the name of the
Watsonville,
town.
which was a little ways. I think from the original town that they wanted to do it in was called Coletta, which is a
Capitola.
That's what it is. And so a little further away. And the chief of police was like, absolutely not. A film called Killer Clowns from Outer Space shot in our little burg would ruin our reputation.
Yeah, and then Watsonville was like, we'll do it.
Yes,
Come on over.
Yep. Fucking love it. Now, all this hand-wringing, though, like, what did the press think?
Well, I'm happy to report this movie was very well received.
I know. I was surprised. I was very surprised. It was definitely received in the spirit that it was intended.
Yep. And that doesn't necessarily mean people liked it, but they got it.
Yeah.
And at least appreciated it. The thing was, because it did not get wide release, it was kind of hard to find. I had to deviate from the usuals.
Oh, so. Right. Because, yeah, again, like we said, the release was so fucking limited that, like, nobody saw it.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit you with these. This is Jonathan Gold from the LA Weekly. This fresh take on the hackneyed carnival of death genre is the funniest monster movie since Reanimator, a sinister three-ring circus of sneaky gore, underhanded gags, and a wonderful cast of evil clowns who pop out of a suddenly appeared extraterrestrial circus tent and make balloon animals into bloodhounds, warp children in cocoons, and cotton candy, and kill more middle American civilians than Jason and Freddy combined. That is the longest fucking sentence.
That's great. Also, I love that they liked Reanimator.
Yeah, well, everybody liked Reanimator. Well, not everybody. Rick Chattenever, I'm going to say. Santa Cruz Sentinel. My God.
Take it slow.
If the Chiodos had been able to write dialogue and to afford actors who didn't sound like they were in a high school drama class, they might have had this whole movie business wired. As it is, though, there's still a funhouse look and a strong sense of continuity and enough technical professionalism to make this look like a real movie at least.
My God, take it easy on the cast. They're doing the best they can.
They're bringing a real soap opera energy to the show.
True.
So this is from the New Tribune, Tacoma, Washington's own The New Tribune. Unlike so many of Hollywood's generic titled offerings, this is a picture whose name seems to tell you everything you need to know about it. Very true. Actually, going to see the thing seems superfluous, if not actually hazardous to your mental health. Screenwriting brothers Charles and Stephen Chiodo have just the right take on this hokum. They know their movie is a goof, of course, and they keep their tongues pressed tightly to their cheeks most of the way. And again, Killer Clowns fuses the comic and the horrific into a single image, and the clown's weaponry and behavior all have a lunatic kind of consistency that makes the whole picture hang together remarkably well. Everyone's a little bit ambivalent about it, though. They're all like, well, this movie's really stupid, but it's watchable. And the last one I do find a little bit interesting. Have you ever noticed that those grade Z exploitation films with fabulous titles are never as funny as their handles?
Hey, wait a second.
Still, I can see where it might be difficult for any theater owner to pass up a movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You, however, are free to do so, knowing full well that A, movies like this are never as funny as the title, and B, this will show up on the rental racks before the interstellar jesters have washed off the grease paint. Dayton Daily News.
Take it easy.
Which is where I go for all of my news. So most people really seem to enjoy it, but I think the more serious-minded folk thought it was a little silly. And it is a little silly.
It is a little silly.
That's kind of the point, though.
And that's great.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. And I'm glad that it is. So, shall we?
Let's do it.
Here we go. We open on Crescent Cove, California at night. It's busy out in these streets. Cops patrol the mean streets by the Big Top Burger just looking for troublemakers and beer drinkers who drink beer from cans, which later literally say beer in big bold letters.
Yep. I think that's the classic Coors Banquet can style.
I think you mean it's beer brand beer.
Yeah. I'll have one beer.
Oh fuck. The effect that I wonder if that was Repo Man's doing.
I hope not. I hope it's just a standard industry standard.
Just they have a can that says beer on it, just as like visual shorthand.
And sometimes if you open it up, it's got snakes inside of it that jump out at you. Real fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. Mean old Officer Mooney heads up to the hill where all the kids in town are parked down for some makeout action.
Is that still a thing? Are makeout points, were they ever really a thing?
I would imagine that they were, you know?
I mean, it's such a strong trope.
It really is. I think that maybe there was a time in this country when you just wanted to fool around a little bit.
Yeah, just take your lady out somewhere nice, but not too nice.
You know, like the middle of the woods.
Where you may or may not get murdered. You forgot to mention the insanely catchy theme from this.
Oh shit! I completely spaced on that. I don't like the Dickies at all. I don't either. I think they suck.
Yeah, I've never been a fan.
But this song is great.
Yep. And it would get stuck in there for days.
The thing is like I've heard their other music and they get lumped in with punk bands all the time. They don't sound very punk to me.
No, they're kind of a poor man's cheap trick.
They're like a new wave thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, they remind me of The Knack.
Yep.
You know, it's like that like really upbeat, like power pops type stuff. But like there was
skinny ties for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, boy. Yeah, no. Great song though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking A. So yeah, he's going to go up and hassle those kids who are just up there causing trouble.
Or possibly kill them.
One of these days, he's going to have his revenge.
He seems determined.
All of a sudden, here comes an ice cream truck pitching their wares. Seems like a strange place to sell ice cream out of a truck, but how else are you going to introduce the Terenzi brothers, who are going to play a big role in the movie later on?
Yeah.
No. Also, as mentioned, this is how the Blob starts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, almost identically.
Yes.
When no one wants ice cream, they make a plan to park out here and maybe get some action from their lady friends who are in the back of the truck just helping themselves to the profits.
Yeah, we get some real gross fat jokes.
Yep. The girls, they see right through the plan and they shut the whole thing down. So then we meet Mike Tobacco.
What the fuck is that name?
These characters are all people that the Chiodos like grew up with. So Mike Tobacco was a real guy, and the Terenzi brothers were real guys. And like a lot of this stuff, like how, because there's all of these like very particular details that when I was watching it like the first time, I was like, this all feels so particular that it's like they must have pulled this from somebody that they knew or something that they did when they were younger. And as it happens, like, yeah, Mike, the real Mike Tobacco, what a fucking name. He had
Tobacco.
He had an inflatable raft in the back of his truck, and he kept a bottle of champagne in the fucking glove box so that when he brought girls out to the makeout point, they'd have champagne to drink and a comfortable place to fucking lay down in.
What? And
also apparently the real Terenzi brothers did the fucking ice cream truck gambit where they were like, we're going to take this out and we're going to get girls with this thing, which makes me think all of these guys are definitely gigantic losers.
It's like, it's what you'd call madcap hilarity.
Yeah. And this makes me think that like this lends credibility to your claim that these guys were the sort of loser brand of nerd.
Yeah, like the kind that's like you're not dangerous. You're not gonna like shoot up a school or anything, but like you're not going very far in life though.
No.
But
this is before they discovered D&D.
Yeah, Mike Tobacco though, he just loves these sort of weird, slightly autistic antics of the Terenzi brothers.
They show up and he is so fucking delighted.
He's nostalgic about all the wild times he's had with those weirdos.
So here's the thing. Don't make a Killer Klowns sequel. Make a Killer Klowns prequel just about the Terenzi brothers and the wild antics they would get up to.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty boring movie.
but you know, you'd have some Killer Klowns in it anyways.
Okay, well now I'm back on board.
Yeah, fucking this is such a weird thing. But yep. So yeah, Mike is up there kicking it with his girl Debbie. And they watch the stars from the comfort of an inflatable raft in the back of a station wagon when along comes a shooting star. The star shoots over the shack of an old-timey prospector guy who can't believe his luck. It's the legendary...
Again, literally from the Blob.
It's the legendary Royal Dano.
An actor of great distinction who I guess maybe needed money.
This was kind of the character that he was known for playing, though.
Yeah,
he did a lot of
prospector,
a lot of westerns,
types.
a lot of like, he'd look at this guy and be like, "Oh, look at that! Oh, banjo polish." He's always like reacting to stuff.
He's pretty great, though.
He is pretty great.
I mean, they could only afford him for 5 minutes, but
it's fucking it's an impressive 5 minutes.
yeah, because he gets all excited. He's like, we gotta go find it. He's like, he starts talking. He's like, they're gonna have hot dogs and helicopters and tacos. It's like, what?
Yeah. This is all the stuff that's gonna happen when he goes and he gets Halley's Comet and brings it back to his place and turns it into like a roadside attraction.
Now, I will admit, hot dogs and helicopters and tacos sounds pretty great.
I see no flaw to this. This is a great idea. And he's just like up there saying all of his old timey expressions. He sneaks up on the crash site, but he instead finds the tent of a big top there. So he goes in for a closer look and learns the hard way that it may not be what it appears to be.
Yeah, he brings his dog, and I don't like that there's I guess a dog death in a manner of speaking, but I do like that they scoop up the dog.
I was going to ask you about that. How you feel about this one?
They scoop up the dog with like a giant butterfly net, and that's pretty funny.
Yep, snatch up the prospector's dog when he's not looking. Because we see the clown on the inside of the tent in silhouette.
Yep.
And then he cuts a weird little hole in the tent and grabs the dog. Then the prospector tries to punch the tent to get his dog back, but he finds that it's as solid as a rock. And he grabs one of the cables, electrocuting himself.
What I don't really get is why this hick doesn't think it's strange that there's a giant circus tent in the middle of the woods.
Listen, he is caught up in the rapturous ecstasy of his fortune, of his sudden fortune.
Well,
He's like, there's going to be tacos and hot dogs and helicopters.
That I definitely understand.
Yeah, that's all he's thinking about. Along comes one of those clowns who then shoots him with a colorful cotton candy gun.
It's delightful.
It's wonderful. Back in town, Officer Mooney arrests 2 punk dudes in the park who were just drinking some wine, not harming nobody.
I like one of them's a very British looking goth guy. Like he looks like the goth kids on South Park.
Yeah. It's a great look. I had to look him up. I was like, I bet you that's the band, the Dickies. And it's just 2 actors.
Nah.
No. He's had it with the scum in this town, causing nothing but trouble. So here comes young Officer Dave. He just objects to the way he's handling these guys, but he throws the book at him anyways and locks them up.
Now we will learn. I have always found this perplexing. I this time I finally kind of picked up on all of it, but I had always thought they were in high school. And I think I was conflating this with the Blob because in the Blob they are supposed to be in high school.
Yeah,
despite the fact that they're like 30.
It's heavily implied that they're quite young, but at the same time, like Debbie has her own house.
Well, I think
which
they're
makes
in
me
college.
wonder, like, why couldn't you just go make out there?
Well, I think that's just where she lives there like with her parents.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they're supposed to be in college.
You get no indication of that.
No, and this movie is not very well written, but I had always thought they were high school, and so I was always like, because we will learn that Dave is Debbie's ex-boyfriend, and I was like, but Dave's an adult with a job, like a profession.
Yeah.
Why is he dating a high schooler?
They're high schoolers in the same way that like the cast of a Friday the 13th movie are like young camp counselors.
Well, so later on, one of them. Somebody makes a reference to it might even be Mooney about their college kids or whatever, and then I was like, okay, I guess it makes a little more sense because otherwise it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, it's not terribly well defined, but I didn't really think about it that much. I just was like rolling with it. I've
seen this movie so many fucking times though.
Once you subject it to just a little bit of scrutiny, the fucking legs come out from under it.
No, the whole point of this movie is the set pieces, and they are fantastic.
Yeah. Out at the crash site, Mike and Debbie arrive and stomp through the woods, coming upon the big top as well.
They do, because Debbie insists they go look, and my note is that Debbie insists they go drunk driving.
Yep. But then when they get there, she trusts her instincts, wanting nothing to do with the circus tent that appeared out of nowhere in the woods.
We also get a little racist humor from Mike.
Yeah, it's 1988. Man. They're just taking full advantage of the privilege.
And Debbie's outfit, this movie is very much of its time, very late 80s. Debbie's outfit is very like motherhood and maternity chic.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, at one time I was like, is she wearing just like a pair of long johns under this rather fashionable like over outfit she's wearing?
it's like a really terrible like crocheted dress.
Yeah. Yeah. God bless them. I guarantee the Chiodos were also like the wardrobe guys.
Or everyone just showed up with in what they were wearing, and they were like, "Good, those are your costumes."
Right.
Don't smell anything.
Also, the dynamic between Mike and Debbie is like switched from your typical sort of movie
Yes.
of this type where like she's the one who's like, we should not go near this. And he's the one who's like, come on, babe, let's go have a look around inside.
Because he is also a giant dork.
Yeah. Humongous nerd. Very,
In a
very,
way, like, it's a way that I find very grating. Because it's very childish.
yeah. Until they introduce the sort of third character into the sort of chemistry here, these two's chemistry fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And yeah, his character is so childish and weird, in spite of the fact that he's like very obviously like 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to me. But once they introduce Officer Dave to the mix, everything kind of coalesces in a way that's very pleasing.
Yeah. And they're so like carbon copies of movies from the 50s where they also didn't really flesh out any characters, especially women. So
Yeah. So they find it wide open and head on in, finding a candy-colored interior.
and it doesn't even occur to them that this giant circus tent in the middle of the woods is also laid out like a classic sci-fi movie spaceship.
Right. He calls it that new wave European circus fantastique.
What?
I don't know. I didn't bother to look it up, but I couldn't remember when Cirque du Soleil came around.
I mean, that's Canadian.
Is it?
Well, it's French Canadian.
All right.
No offense, French Canadians. A little bit of offense, French Canadians.
Yeah. Mike hams it up like a carnival barker as they make their way deeper into the tent, coming upon some real sci-fi looking doors. One of them,
Again, like he's just like, you're sneaking into a thing. Something's clearly going on here, and he's like, yeah, da, 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 da. Like,
yeah,
dude, you're bad at
the
this.
first panel of buttons he sees. He's like, beep, boop, 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 boop. Like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's like someone put Joe Rogan in there.
One of them opens and they find themselves in a weird, impossibly deep shaft with some sci-fi looking lightning balls like you used to find at Spencer Gifts.
It's like an elevator, and it looks like they either get sucked into the elevator or she kind of extremely awkwardly stumbles and pushes him into it.
I could not make it. I couldn't tell which it was because I came to the same conclusion. I was like, I couldn't tell if they got pulled into it or if she fell into it.
But she's also standing still.
Yeah, like she tripped over fucking shoelaces or something. And
yeah,
like,
if she fell into it, she's having a stroke.
Yeah, also this scene where like they have the big long shaft to the bottom. That's the Krell machine from Forbidden Planet.
Nice.
Fucking movie that I also love tremendously, so I appreciated that. They're interrupted when along comes one of the killer clowns, so they hide in another room, finding it decorated with hanging cocoons made of cotton candy. They look...
And that killer clown, his name is Rudy.
Really? Do they have names?
Yes.
Because I know that there's Clownzilla.
I'll shout him out.
Okay, cool.
I'll shout him out to you as we go.
Yep. And also, we were remarking on the cotton candy when we watched it the other night. That shit looks delicious. I don't care if there's dead bodies inside.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who says. Is it her who says nobody stores cotton candy like this?
Well, he's like, yeah, this is probably just one of your run-of-the-mill cotton candy factories. I was like, you idiot.
Yep. Also, the cocoons are a throwback to Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they pull some of the cotton candy away and find the face of the dead prospector hidden inside.
We hardly knew ye.
Royal Dano, we hardly knew ye. Now, one of the clones comes sauntering in and fires up the popcorn machine. Mike and Debbie are frightened when they find another body in the cotton candy, and their alarm alerts the clown, who grabs a popcorn gun and chases them down the hall, firing it. And it launches a cloud of popcorn, which chases them down the hall. And then they narrowly avoid it and keep running while the clowns fashion a little balloon animal dog, which they use to chase the two kids through the forest. It's fucking a great idea.
And she said, why popcorn? He says, because they're clowns. That's why. And I was like, yep, there's that writing again. Classic American writing.
The logic holds, though.
Mm-hmm.
Mike and Debbie narrowly escape, running over the balloon dog and hitting some clowns in the process. And then Debbie tells him to go to the police station because she has a friend there. And then the clowns follow them out on foot.
And it's a great moment. I think the song is the cue is called the Clown March or something.
Yeah.
And it's the one that's like bum, 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 and it just kind of goes over and over again. And it's like you just sort of see them heading into town.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. Mm-hmm. At the police station, we meet Debbie's friend, Officer Dave. He tries to calm them down because they are saying some seriously crazy shit about clowns and people being killed. Then Debbie explains everything that we just saw, but in a panic. And then Mike...
Mooney calls her a tramp.
He's coming up. He's got a really great line coming up.
I've got it written down.
But yeah, dude is just unhinged. He calls Mike a little fart.
Yeah.
And knows that he hangs out with the Terenzi brothers, who are apparently a local problem. Then again, who isn't to this guy?
I agree, though. What kind of these juvenile antics are going to get somebody killed? Turns out you're going to get a lot of people
They're
killed.
very convoluted, too. Like, we're going to get girls with an ice cream truck. It's like, okay, I'm going to need you to map the logic out on this one for me.
But they are, if you think about those movies, not necessarily the beach party movies, but a little bit the beach party movies. They're those characters. They're like the wacky, zany... if you ever watch things like Ghost of Dragstrip Hollow.
Oh, I was about to say the giant Gila monster.
Yeah, it's shit like that where it's like they're not the bad kids. They're not the motorcycle gang and the drag racers.
No,
but
they just
not
have these contrivances that amount to a nuisance.
Yeah, they're like wacky kids. And it's like but nobody was ever actually like that. It's so bizarre.
Yep. So yeah, Dave puts him in the squad car, takes him up to Makeout Point. I think it's called Top of the World.
That's what they call it. Yeah.
Which must have been like what they called the shit that like the Makeout Point in New York where the Chiodos are from. Elsewhere in town, one of the clowns finds a drugstore and just posts up outside opposite the animatronic gorilla.
Fantastic.
Yep. Another one of the clowns sets up a puppet show in a gazebo in the park.
That one is Jumbo.
He is okay, makes sense. He's big. Mm-hmm. Some dude comes along and watches, just delighted as hell.
Yeah, again, just another very, very late 80s looking guy. Not at all put off by the Punch and Judy performance in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night.
That he is the sole visitor of.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. One of the puppets then produces a ray gun and shoots the dude with it, reducing him to a pile of cotton candy.
Yep.
Back at the drugstore, the clown is just knocking shit over and making a mess while putting people into cocoons. At some random lady's house, they deliver a deadly pizza, which also turns out to be a clown in the box with a ray gun.
The little clown in the box is Shorty.
Okay. And then
he's
Dave,
everyone's favorite.
He's probably my favorite. So yeah,
he's everyone's favorite.
Yeah. Dave and Mike talk Debbie out into going home while the guys go up to have a look around.
And there's something really like Dave is being really inappropriate and disrespectful of like, he's like, oh, you're on a date. It's like, yeah, man, stop being fucking weird about it.
Well, here's the thing is a little later on, he comes to terms with it on screen in a way that I thought was really kind of surprising.
Or does he? Because I have a question about the end.
So they shuffle her off to her place and then convince her not to follow them. And then they head up into the hills to find the big alien Big Top, but it's gone. All that's left is a big hole in the ground, and Officer Dave is just incredulous. Also, I do like the sort of dynamic between these two characters. It's like a real like nice bromance that sort of develops.
Yeah, it's a buddy cop thing.
Yeah. Out at the local Crescent Cove Motorcycle Club, the bikers are partying down. Along comes...
So, this is the part that always made me, well, the first time I saw it, and then subsequent watches since I was a child, this always made me a little bit sad because they wreck his bike.
Yeah, but he gets him back.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. Along comes one of the clowns on his little clown bike. They taunt him and they make fun of him, those idiots.
He's very happy about the bike, though. He's very excited. He's sort of like petting it and showing it off.
Yeah, it's a fancy bike, but it's almost like he's saying like, oh, please don't do anything bad to my bike, Mr. Biker guy. Yep. And so the biker wants to ride the bike, but the clown won't let him. So he picks it up and smashes it. That fucking fool.
Yep.
Now the clown flies away and reappears seconds later with some boxing gloves.
And he sort of squares up to this guy the same way that Godzilla does in All Monsters Attack, where he's just like, put him up.
Yeah, he did a little shadow boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Just gives him a little of that. Then he punches the dude's head off, Jason style.
Yep.
Over at the Big Top Burger, the kids don't want to eat their nasty food. One of the girls inside the place spots one of the clowns outside who's trying to lure.
Okay, this is the one of two parts that I find genuinely creepy, because it's a what is ostensibly an adult man basically
trying to luring
a child away from her parents. And I'm like, that is fucking creepy.
Yeah, with the intention of killing and eating her.
With a big mallet.
A big cartoon mallet.
Cartoon mallet, yep.
She sneaks away from her table to go see the clown, and then her mom grabs her before she can get bonked.
I mean, she is about as conspicuous as you can be. It's some real cartoon sneaking.
Yeah. The disappointed clown then reveals a mouthful of just nasty ass monster teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Out on the road, Mike and Officer Dave spot some cars up around Makeout Point, but they're all abandoned and the place is kind of trashed. Officer Dave walks up on one of the vehicles, find it covered in pink cotton candy, and he opens it.
So this part, I guess they rented all these cars, and one of the special effects guys was like, no, we'll just spray it down with Pam and it'll wipe right off. Except it didn't wipe right off.
I wonder why they were like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're just gonna put this cooking spray on it. It'll be fine on this interior. No, it did not. So he opens it, and the interior is just full of the stuff. It's like that X-Files episode, Darkness Falls, with the glowing insects.
Except way better.
Yep. Officer Dave finds nothing left over but a pair of broken glasses. All of the notes that I kept coming across were all of these people who were just like so fucking amazed that these glasses belong to a particular cast member.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all like, it's actor comedian Christopher Titus. And I'm like,
who?
And I'm like, who?
Do you think the person who wrote that was actor comedian Christopher Titus?
We come across this shit every now and then in our research, and I'm like, I guarantee the person that we're talking about wrote those notes, because everybody is just so it appears in like 10 things you didn't know about Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and I'm like, I did know that, and I don't really give a shit. Why is everybody so hard on this?
Now, listener, if you look him up, you might recognize him. Christopher Titus had a show, I think, on Fox.
It was called Titus, and I think it was on for like a season or two.
Yeah, and he also was like a stand-up comedian in the late 90s. I mean, obviously into the 90s, but and he occasionally showed up and shit. But he's by no means like famous. I mean, he's a little bit more famous than me, but actually, arguably, I'm more famous than him right now.
He's got a podcast.
Okay, so do I.
mean, so, that's yeah. So okay, everybody, Christopher Titus was in this movie. I know. Calm down, calm down. Let us finish, and then you can.
It's his first movie.
First movie. This is kind of like in our last episode where it was Sherilyn Fenn's first nude scene.
Oh yuck!
No, Christopher Titus does not get naked in this movie. Mm-mm. No. He then produces the glasses to Mike Tobacco, who claims that I'm going to keep saying that because that name fucking makes me laugh. I don't think you actually ever hear his last name in it. Like,
no,
once.
You don't.
Mike Tobacco. He confirms that this is definitely the stuff from the circus tent. So now at the police station, Officer Mooney gets a call from some locals reporting clown mayhem in town. The caller needs help, but he thinks they're just all fucking with him.
Oh, you forgot about, because they go back to, they cut back at one point to the pharmacy where Rudy is wrecking the place. And he brings all of his stuff up to the counter like he's about to pay for it.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of nice.
The thing that kept annoying me about the pharmacy
is it the
scene,
weird voiceover?
It's not the weird voiceover. It's they continuously cut back to the shopkeeper who's like frightened and afraid at what he's seeing, but he keeps doing this thing where he like raises a finger as if he's about to say something. I swear to God, they cut to this shot like 10 times, and I'm like, fucking just say something already. Like,
well, he is, but it's all ADR'd for some reason. Maybe it just sounded like shit. Like there was just too much noise in the scene or something. Because he's like, oh, excuse me. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, God. And it's so fucking weird because it sounds tinny and strange and far away.
Yeah, it's like they ADR'd it over the phone.
But it's that like, do it like they would have done it in the 50s. You're a sniveling pharmacist.
Yeah, you're nervous. Pull on your collar a little.
Yeah. Very much that, like, oh God, oh, Paul Newman's gonna have my legs broke.
Yep. So yeah, he thinks that they're just fucking with him. So their blood is on his hands, and then he angrily declares that he should just shoot them all.
So this is a thing. This is also a scene from the Blob where this guy just freaks out.
I am gonna watch the Blob like this week.
PTSD. He's got PTSD.
Yeah, from Korea.
From Korea.
More calls come in, all reporting clown stuff, and he just angrily hangs up on all of them.
Yeah.
Out on the road, another random dude is trying to outrun one of the clowns in his car. The clown follows him, pretending to drive a car, just like, as we said up top, just floating along next to him. Mm-hmm. And then the clown runs him off the road, and he falls off a bridge to his doom.
And like it literally just sort of like the car kind of just tips over the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently,
that's very non-spectacular.
No, they were going to use this originally at the very beginning of the movie. And apparently the destruction of the car was such a bummer that they were like, I don't think we're going to do that.
No. That's why you got to pack 25 pounds of plastic explosives in the trunk.
Fucking do it like the Wraith, man.
Yep.
Back at her place, Debbie gets ready to take a shower.
The obligatory shower.
Yep. The pieces of popcorn from the beginning of the movie are still stuck to her clothes, and the ones that fall off onto the floor crawl around like insects. Back at the Big Top Burger, one of the clowns peppers the dumpster with the same nasty popcorn creatures. One of the employees goes out to throw some stuff out. He opens the dumpster and is pulled in suddenly by unseen hands.
Okay, so the car crash thing and the dumpster eating deaths, they're not particularly exciting or all that interesting, but I think every death in this movie, everything is so thoughtful. Like they're putting so much care into all of these scenes, no matter what it is.
Yeah. Like the death scene is just sort of like the sort of logical endpoint of like yet another very cartoonish contrivance. And I love it. I think it's fantastic.
It's kind of like when George Romero was like, no, I want them all to have individual personalities. It's like, dude, there are like 400 people here. He's like, yeah, but 400 people. You got to make them each their own thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
I want him
what
to be
they
a clown.
do.
I want her to be a ballerina. He's a doctor. And yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of what they do here. It's like, even the ones that aren't like the kind of show-stopping moments, they still put a lot of attention and care into the moment. I think that is a part of the success of this movie.
Yeah. So Officer Dave and Mike hash it out in the car as he accepts that Debbie has moved on like a normal man.
Mm-hmm, just innocent, man.
The clowns are still out on the town being a nuisance. One of them is pulled up on a bus stop and entertained. This is one of my favorites.
This is the show-stopping scene.
Yeah.
So this whole scene was not done by them. It was done by a guy who they were like friends with because they had run out of money.
Yeah.
And they wanted this like big spectacular scene, but they didn't have any money to do it. So he agreed to do it for like $200.
That's crazy because this is like such a fucking awesome scene. So yeah, they pull up on a bus stop and there's a clown up there just entertaining the people at the bus stop with elaborate shadow puppets. There's an elephant. There's George Washington crossing the Delaware. There's a sexy dancing lady. Mm-hmm. And Mike and Officer Dave pull up on it, but Dave does nothing because he's too busy watching the weird shit go down. And then the sexy lady puppet turns into a dinosaur, which leans down and eats the people. Mm-hmm. And then Mike freaks out and steps on the gas, turning the police car into the clown, who easily flies away, evading them.
And when the dinosaur eats the people, he then takes those people who are now in his hand and puts them in his bag.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
God. Yeah, see.
Very clever.
Yeah, it's clever. And it's fun. $200.
Yep.
Dave calls back to Mooney, who is not being helpful at all. He tells him that the clowns are real, but Mooney refuses to believe him, thinking that he's trying to force him out of the police force. So they're on their own if they're going to deal with the clown menace. Across the street, two ladies that were riding with the Terenzi brothers come running out of an alley being chased by an ice cream truck, which is being chased by the Terenzi brothers, who've clearly lost control of the situation.
Are they like, they also remind me of Dumb and Dumber.
They're like, yeah, they're just buffoons.
Like that dopey humor. It's that dopey early 90s humor that I still find really grating.
Yeah.
Because it's like slapstick 12-year-old humor, but these are adult men.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think one of the reasons I'm like, oh, but these are the kind of guys that date people who are like 20 years younger than them. Because they haven't really matured beyond that.
No, they peaked in high school, and so like this is just they just keep going back on that. Go back to that well. Yep. They can't help though because they've got ice cream to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So Officer Dave goes back to the police station to summon the state police, and Mike catches a ride out to Debbie's place with the brothers.
Yeah, he says that she's got 2 beautiful roommates with big boobs.
That's all that matters. That's all it takes. These guys, that's all they want. They just want to sell some ice cream to 2 ladies with big boobs.
2 large-breasted women. Okay.
Yeah. Officer Mooney, meanwhile, is ignoring the phones, which are ringing off the hook, when in walks one of the clowns. Clown presents Mooney with a bouquet of flowers, which squirts him in the face.
It also squirts him a second time, which really sells the bit.
Yeah, because it's like a second really long squirt. It's fantastic. Mooney says he's going to shoot him, but he instead arrests the clown and neglects to Mirandize him because he's in Mooney's jail.
That's right. I think what they should have done when they cut back to Mooney is just have him loading a rifle.
That would have been fucking funny as hell.
The big bayonet on it.
No. Not that it matters. Then he puts him in the jail cell with the 2 wine-drinking dudes after some foolish play where the clown's hands detach from his body after he puts cuffs on him.
Which implies that these clowns understand English.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally they even speak English.
A little bit. It's kind of, they make sounds that are very English.
Yeah, it'd be like if I went to France, you know?
Hey, like, Christmas.
Exactly.
Christmas.
Ricky.
Once he's locked in the cell, he blows one of those straight party noise makers at Mooney, and the end is a hand which grabs Mooney and pulls him into the bars, knocking him out.
Oh.
Officer Dave shows up too late, but finds the big clown shoe prints, which lead him to the back to the holding cell, which is empty except for one conspicuous feature, a cotton candy cocoon which contains the bodies of the wine drinkers. Out of the main office, Officer Dave finds the clown, who turns around ominously and performs a puppet show using the dead body of Mooney.
This is the second scene that I find a little bit eerie.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that because the way
because
that
it's
the way that he
it's
talks,
the way that it's lit, and the way that he looks, and it's a kind of a callback because earlier Mooney says something about how I'm not going to let them make a dummy out of me.
Oh shit! He made
and
he
so
let
now
him make a dummy out of him.
He's sitting on, I can't remember this clown's name, but he's sitting on his lap and he has the like where his mouth, you know, if it was a dummy where the mouth would come apart, but it's just blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, more of that fucking awesome just imagination shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the puppet tells him that the clowns are there to kill them all. And then the clown removes his bloody hand from Mooney's body.
And just sort of like very unceremoniously just dumps the body on the floor and stands up.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Officer Dave shoots the advancing clown several times, doing no damage to him, but then he shoots it in the nose, which causes the clown to spin in place rapidly and explode into a burst of glitter.
It's a little too cute.
Okay.
Like, I get it, but it's like just one step over the line into cutesy.
Yeah, the thing is with these movies that they're referencing, the monster always does have this very silly disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
You know? This is a particularly silly disadvantage.
Yeah, I think that's just what it is. It's like, it's so obvious and a little bit dumb, like a little too dumb.
Yeah. Then he manages to get a hold of the state police. Out in the streets, the ice cream truck is driving around. The Terenzis don't believe a word about the clowns until they turn a corner and find the clowns strolling down the middle of the street with their big cartoon vacuum machine. Which
it is
sucks
fucking
up all the
hilarious.
cocoons.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. It is a seriously great little set piece. Back at Debbie's place, she's all done
Debbie
with
is presumably still in the shower. She's been in the shower for like 4 hours.
There was an article that did direct me to this, and I had to think about that for a little while where I was like, yeah, she would have been in the shower for like maybe 6 hours.
Yeah. Very clean.
You can never be too clean. You can never be too clean. She takes 3 showers.
Yeah, she's like an 11-year-old boy in the shower. Been there all day.
The popcorn insects have now turned into clown worm monsters, which attack her. She fights them off and narrowly escapes. And she hears Mike at the front door, but when she opens it, it's one of the clowns impersonating his voice. Then they invade her house and imprison her in a big yellow balloon.
Now, why does Debbie get in a giant balloon and everyone else gets a gooey cocoon of cotton candy?
Can't kill Debbie.
That's true. They probably did have to be like, well, we can't put her in the cocoon. That obviously kills her.
Yeah.
So you got to come up with something else.
Yeah. So the ice cream truck arrives in time to see the clowns driving away with Debbie in the balloon. They just also go racing past Officer Dave, who gives chase in his police car. When the Terenzis see the police car, they pull over. Then Mike gets out to find out that Dave has rear-ended the truck, so they all pile into the ice cream truck and drive off toward the amusement park on the edge of town.
Very Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Sure
So
enough,
this was originally supposed to, they wanted to set this in New York, in Long Island, because there's like a bunch of kind of old, really famous amusement parks there.
Yeah.
But the TWE was like, no, do it in California. And they were like, all right, fine. But it's supposed to kind of be that East Coast, turn of the century amusement park feel.
Yeah, I guess. It's definitely, this movie definitely feels very California.
Yeah, because of where they shot it. I mean, they shot it in an iconic location that is so recognizable. It's not quite Los Angeles, but like it's pretty close, especially if you've seen Lost Boys.
Right. Yeah. Sure enough, the big top UFO is hidden right there with the rest of the attractions. The clowns all pile out of their alien clown car before bewildered eyes of the park security guy. Then they throw pies at him, which cover him with corrosive pie goop, reducing him to a skeleton.
Says, what are you going to do with those pies, boys? And as they walk by, Shorty takes a giant cherry and puts it on top.
I love it.
Which again, it's like it's another one of those very small details.
Yeah. Soupy Sales was originally considered for the part of the security guy killed by the clown's acidic pies. He was known for receiving pies in the face on his television show for kids.
From the 50s.
Called
like
Lunch with
who in the
Soupy
80s
Sales.
would have known that?
Transworld Entertainment turned down the idea, thinking that audiences would not know who Soupy Sales was, and I don't exactly blame them. I would never have gotten the reference either.
I do know who Soupy Sales is, and I still probably would not have gotten the reference.
Dave and Mike chase the aliens into the funhouse, speculating on why the clowns are here and why they look like clowns.
And one of them says it's ancient aliens.
He says, yes, these are the aliens that built the pyramids.
Mm-hmm. That's racist, everybody. Don't promote that.
The set is real dreamy, like an early Tim Burton movie, or that weird-ass erotic art movie, Dr. Caligari, where everything is off-kilter and colorful.
Wait, the one from the 90s?
1989, I think, is when it came out?
Yep.
Yeah. Also, I found this out. There's a name for this design style.
What is it?
It's called the Memphis design style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like in production design or just in design in general?
In design. In the 80s, there was this like kind of maximalist movement where it was all like bright colors and like clean lines, a lot of circles, a lot of pastels, a lot of primary colors. I always associate it with like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I was going to say it looks like Pee-wee's Playhouse. It has this is where the 4K does not enhance the experience because it looks cheap as hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you can still see it. Like it feels very much like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like everything is like not quite 3-dimensional, but like almost.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 dimensional.
Angles are all weird and shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend you look it up. You will immediately recognize it as the 80s when you see it.
This is also where it occurred to me that the Terenzi brothers are like Andy and Ollie on Bob's Burgers.
I still have not watched Bob's Burgers.
Oh.
But I'm sure there are people out there listening right now going, yeah, you're right.
Great.
Yep. They also, speaking of the Terenzis, they fall into a ball pit trap.
Mm-hmm.
The way Mike talks about these buffoons is positively mythical.
He is. He's like, you know them. Probably just fell into a ball pit trap like always.
Yep. They end up in the company of two clowns dressed like girls with big inflatable boobs. So,
which is again one of the gags that I'm like, In
the end, they got their ladies with big boobs.
It feels a little, maybe a little too 80s.
Yeah. As Mike and Dave walk around in the funhouse, Mike recognizes the hall and realizes that they're in the ship. He takes them to the room where they're storing all the people in cocoons. They get to searching for the balloon with Debbie in it, and one of the clowns comes in, so they have to hide. They watch it bust out this crazy straw, which inserts into one of the cocoons and appears to drink the blood of the person inside.
And the crazy curly straw makes up for the inflatable boob gag. Because it is a very long straw.
The amount of effort this clown is putting into drinking a little blood is staggering.
Yeah.
When it leaves, they find Debbie's balloon, but they're unable to pop it, so Dave shoots it. And then they release her, and they beat it with the clowns in hot pursuit. Dave shoots a bunch in the nose, destroying them. Deeper inside the ship, things get even zanier with strange sets and decoration like rooms full of balloons and a hallway opening that's like a giant anglerfish.
Yeah, it's very, it's like Zoobly Zoo. It all looks like a set of a Canadian children's show.
And then they end up cornered at the end of a hall that's a series of doors that get smaller as they open them. And finally, it opens up into another room, and the three of them evade the clowns, barring the door with the empty shotgun. They think they're safe, but they suddenly find themselves caught from all sides by a large group of advancing clowns. They climb up onto this pedestal to make their last stand, and it looks like they're goners, but they're saved suddenly by the ice cream truck, which bursts through the wall. The Terenzis pretend to have some kind of clown god speaking through a loudspeaker on the top of the truck.
What's great is that because they say they're JoJo, like the great and powerful JoJo or whatever, and the looks, so the clowns' faces are pretty static. It's just a mask.
They're like, they're a little bit like John Carl Buechler designs where not much of the puppet moves.
But this time around, they must have had a couple of them that did have at least some movement because they get these like looks of wonder on their face. That's really fantastic.
Yeah. It buys them enough time to get to the truck, but then the final boss fight starts. A massive Clownzilla is lowered to the floor on strings, and it advances on the truck, smashing the big clown head.
I believe it is Stephen Chiodo playing this.
Yeah, he's in a suit. It was originally supposed to be claymation. Or not claymation, like stop motion is what they wanted to do with it. I think
it's better that it's not.
I think it's better that it's not either. It has...
Like they use forced perspective pretty well here.
Yeah, it looks like a Godzilla. Or like one of the 70s Godzilla suits.
Yeah.
The Terenzis are refusing to leave because the truck is rented and they need to get their money back.
So, those wacky Terenzis.
I know. Clownzilla picks up the truck and throws it, causing it to explode, presumably with the annoying brothers inside.
I wish.
Dave distracts Clownzilla while Mike and Debbie escape out the hole in the wall. As soon as they're out, the big top prepares to lift off, pulling in all the cables and lights as Dave fights Clownzilla inside. Grabs him, and it's gigantic Clownzilla hands, and it lifts him up as the big top UFO takes off. The state police arrive just in time to see it all going down. Inside, Dave pulls his badge off and stabs the Clownzilla in the nose with it, exploding. And then the UFO also explodes into a big fireworks show. And then outside, the clown car smashes down into the parking lot by the cops. The door opens. Dave climbs out. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In the original ending, he was supposed to die.
Yeah. I'm glad that he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't need to go there.
It's too lighthearted a film to do that.
Yeah. And then Mike and Debbie rush up on him and give him a big old hug.
And I think he kisses Debbie on the head.
I remember that the last time I watched it, I was like, is he kissing her?
Which is so weird.
Little weird. But like also Mike Tobacco, super psyched to see his bro.
Yeah, he is. He hugs him.
Gives him a hug. Like it just, you know what? Like normal men.
I wish he would have kissed Mike Tobacco on the head too.
Yep. The Terenzis also climb out covered in ice cream and gigantic cartoon lipstick kisses.
You know what? He can kiss them too. Pretty great. Everybody kiss everybody else. Come on.
Everybody kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're safe because they hid in the freezer in the back of the truck. And then everybody looks at the sky, which is raining glitter. They wonder if it's all over, but then they're hit with a bunch of pies from space. Roll credits.
Yep.
It's
a fantastic film.
It is. I was kind of expecting there to be a little bit more meat on the sort of commentary bone, but no, it really is just kind of what it is. It's fun and it's colorful and it's incredibly stupid.
It is reminiscent of an era. As much as I don't like the late 80s, it is still reminiscent of an era where people, I think, were given, maybe because like shit like slashers had stopped being profitable, people were given leeway to try new things, which is why we get stuff like Pee-wee's Playhouse, like this sort of very strange, irreverent humor and almost avant-garde art, like sort of like Wayne White stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I think, is a product of that. It's like, fine, give it a shot. We'll see if we can do anything. And now it was intentionally tanked by the fucking company that distributed it. That sucks, but I think it works. It's it represents a very interesting time. And I think, if anything, with the exception of like a couple tasteless jokes, I think it's aged better than most movies.
I think that's why. I think that the fact that it is completely unironic, it goes a long way to sort of keeping it relevant. Like it's obviously it's arch 80s. Like the fashions and just everything about it, like the production design, it's super, super 80s. I think that for a lot of viewers, wins points in their mind. You know, it's kind of a part of that sort of mythical cycle of movies. But also the fact that there's not an ounce of cynicism in it. It is completely without irony. It is just a movie made with love.
It's also, I think, something that at the time people would have, and people did look at it and think, this is very clever, this is very creative, it's very whimsical. But I think we appreciate that type of thing more now, the artistry of this type of work. Like the fact that they had no fucking money to make this and they made it look really impressive. Yeah, it looks a little kind of low budge at times, but I think it ages so well because we could look at it now and say, like, there's passion here and there's a lot of like really talented people working on it. And we appreciate that more now than probably people did at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I love it. It's fun.
It's a great one.
It's a great movie. So where are we off to next?
Well, as you noted up top, 99 Cent Rental will be back on whatever next Monday is, with If Footmen Tire You, What Will Horses Do? Plus, I think, because it's a short movie.
It's a short movie. Maybe we'll have a little second musical edition for that one.
And then in 2 weeks, Bring Me the Axe will return, and we are going to be celebrating Latin American Heritage Month with Vacation in Terror 2. Speaking of fucking songs that are going to get stuck in your head. Woo.
I've been looking forward to this one all year. This is, I think, one of the titles that entered the calendar really, really early when we put together 2025. Yeah. And it's like the only one that never moved.
These are two movies back to back that caused me to clap my hands while watching it. So excited was I.
Vacaciones de Terror. Mm-hmm. The first one, it's pretty good. The second one, oh boy.
Wow.
Oh boy.
It's a big wowzer.
You get some rubber monsters. You get a haunted doll. You get a really, really catchy musical number.
You get pop star Tatiana.
Oh boy. So yeah, be back here next week. This is going to be a bonkers couple of weeks. So next week, If Footmen Tire, What Will Horses Do?
Yeah.
You'll be scared out of your minds about you'll hate communism. And you'll do everything in your power to stop it when you see this. And then we'll follow it up with Vacations of Terror 2. So we'll see you then.